Hello and welcome to Lightningscape Freestyle. As always, the same 16 trucks we saw in racing is back for Freestyle, and as always split into two parts. Anyway, of course we have 8 trucks here, and if you haven't seen the rules of the previous videos, then I recommend you continue watching so that way you may know the rules. If you have already seen the rules, then you can skip to here. Anyway, let's get on to the first truck. Here we have a CRD chassis to help us demonstrate how the rules are going to work for this season. So, each truck will have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to complete the course. Time will start the moment they hit their first obstacle, whether it be a jump, a car, a donut, basically whatever. And each truck will have a 30-second grace period from the start of their run to basically flip over. Because this season, when a truck rolls over, that's it, its run is over. However, if it does manage to roll over within the first 30 seconds of the run, it may be allowed to get itself back onto all 4 tires at the cost of 30 seconds to its run, which would essentially turn a 2-minute 30-second run into a 2-minute run if the truck happens to roll over within the first 30 seconds of the run. Otherwise, Freestyle effectively the same way as it would be in the previous season, except now the trucks can't roll themselves back onto their wheels. So, with that out of the way, let us get on to our very first truck of this event. Up first we have the red Toro Loco. Starting off the run nice and easy on a little bit of a jump here. Jumping right up and over the gap there, spitting some steam out of the nose there. Got some pretty good air as well over that jump. Massive air over the tabletop, spewing even more steam from the nose. Coming back and over the gap, spinning the truck around, bouncing it hard on the tailgate. Looks like some steering was broken in the rear wheel over there, but the truck still seems to be fairly fine. And it looks like this will be the end of the run here for Toro Loco as the truck lays down on the side. Fairly short for the first truck, but we still have some more to go. So let's move on to the next truck in our lineup. Up next we have the Destroyer. Finding a nice little jump to start the run off. Going up on 2 wheels for a bit. Going up on 2 wheels once again. Back on all 4 of them. Going a little bit squirrely, spinning the truck around, discarding the rest of the body panels. Putting the truck into reverse up and over the ramp. And the truck still seems to be fine after all of that. Up and onto the car pile. And the truck will go into a donut now. Destroyer rolling over and bring it back on all 4 tires. Pretty good donut by the Destroyer. And a nice save as well. Up into the air, nice little sky wheelie. Fairly hard landing it looked like. Oh yeah, one of the wheels is definitely broken. Up into the air, going a little sideways, landing on top of the buses. That rear wheel just kicking the back end of the truck around. Going up on 2 wheels, rolled it over, and manages to get some traction on the wall to roll it back on all 4s. Ooh, landing down hard, breaking the wheel, and resting on the side. Looks like that'll be the end of the run here for the Destroyer, although they pretty much filled time. And, well, that's the longest run we have so far. Anyway, we still have more trucks to go. Let's see if this track will claim any more victims. Up next, we have the first of many Blue Thunders. It is the Built for Tough Blue Thunder. Starting off big by going up the ramp. Getting some massive air over the jump. Landing down fairly hard, losing one of the flags, but the truck still seems to run perfectly fine. Up into the air, corkscrewing it around. Stuffing the nose into the dirt. Once again, dancing the truck around quite a bit. Rolls it over, but manages to get traction on one of the wheels. And it looks like Blue Thunder will continue on all 4s. Fairly impressive save right there by Blue Thunder. Up to a nice sky wheelie, landing down hard on those crush cars. Coming down the racing lane, up into the air in a massive sky wheelie. High up into the air once again, bouncing off the crushed cars and into a ramp. Puts it into reverse into a sort of a sky wheelie, or a sky stoppie I should say. Ends up on the nose. Doesn't look like the front wheels were able to get any traction, and that will cause the truck to roll over. Fairly good run by Blue Thunder, but we still have more trucks to go. Let's move on to the next one. Up next for the 3rd event in a row, we have Northern Nightmare. Starting off by going up and over the crush cars. Gets a little squirrely immediately after that landing. Pops it into a bit of a wheelie. Into a sky wheelie on the side of that ramp. Pops it up on 3 wheels, pops it up on 1 wheel. Up and over the ramp. Rolls the truck onto its sidewalls of the tires. Pops it in reverse. Up into the air. Spins the truck around once again. He's able to get it on the sides of the tires and thus back on all 4 tires. Jumping right up and over the crushed cars, popping it into a slap wheelie. Ooh, bounces off that ramp. Looks like one of the, or both of the shocks are broken on that rear suspension. Puts it in reverse, slams the axle right into the dirt mound. Having a bit of trouble there as the suspension kind of locks up, or as the wheel locks up, and that will put Northern Nightmare on his side. Short run for Northern Nightmare, but once again, we'll see if he comes back later in the season to see if he can do any better. Up next, we have Blue Thunder Overcast. Starting off with some nice air over that tabletop. Bringing the truck around on the racing lane, slamming it into one of the dirt mounds. Almost rolling the truck over, does some sidewall donuts and puts it back on all 4s. Bringing the truck into a massive sky wheelie on one of the ramps, popping it back down. Blue Thunder in a little bit of trouble here. Driving on the sidewalls once again and saving it. Puts it in reverse quite a while, does a little bit of a moonwalk. Bouncing off the crushed cars. Still not on the side quite yet. Can Blue Thunder save it? Yes, he can. Having some trouble turning as one of the tires is definitely broken. That doesn't seem to be stopping Blue Thunder though. It looks like one of the 4-link bars broke. Truck rolling over once again and saves it. Driving up and over those crushed cars once again and over the buses. Blue Thunder going on the sidewall as he bounces off the wall. And spins the truck around back onto all 4 tires. Looks like Blue Thunder is going to give us a donut here. Pretty good donuts by Blue Thunder, and one of the first trucks to basically fulfill the time without rolling over. We still have more trucks to go. Will they all finish the clock? We'll see. Up next is KFA2. Up into the air, starting off with some pretty big air as well. Going for the racing ramp up into the air, the rear wheel getting kicked up into the air. Truck bouncing off the dirt as the truck continues to move along. Up into the air with those crush cars, spins it around, lands on the roof, but will put it back on all 4 tires. Up into the air, some more big air off of that tabletop. Up into the air, landing it on top of the buses, slinging part of the body just out of here. Some pretty big air off of the tabletop once more. Lands on top of the crushed cars, lands on the side, and will save it. And KFA2 is going to bring us a donut here. Up and over the racing lane. Some more big air into a sky wheelie from KFA2, losing part of the support structure for the rear part of the truck, putting in reverse up and over the racing lane, landing it smoothly on the other ramp. Still continuing in reverse, front wheels get kicked up, and KFA2 will land it on all 4s as time runs out. Pretty good run by KFA2. Once again, there's still a couple more trucks here in part 1. Let's move on to the next competitor. Up next is Tropical Thunder. Yet again, another Thunder truck here at Lightningscape. I don't think there's too many Lightning trucks, as far as I know. Tropical Thunder eyeing that bus stack up and over, clearing the stack completely. Goes a little bit squirrely, but manages to stay on all 4 tires. Up into the air, and a sky wheelie lands it down hard on the center ramp, breaking one of the shocks, it looks like. Swinging that truck around. Looks like some of the sway bars broke as well. Going on a little bit of a bicycle. Going back for the crush cars, up into the air, spins it into a backflip. Fairly impressive by Tropical Thunder. Let's see if they can keep up the rest of the run and fulfill the clock, and that might put them at the top in terms of the score here. Looks like 2 shocks are broken on Tropical Thunder on the same side as well. Truck leaning very heavily, going on 2 wheels, corkscrewing around, but will end up back on all 4s. It looks like one of the shocks completely detached itself from the chassis. And it looks like the other shock broke off, so now this truck only has half of its shocks remaining. Either going to be some hard landings for the truck. Spinning around, ending up in the starting area. And it looks like he is able to get it back on all 4 tires. Can he get himself free, though? Tropical Thunder with the broken shocks, broken sway bars. And the truck will make it out of the starting area. Goes up on 3 wheels. Up into the air, flips it around. Ends up on the sidewalls. And is able to save it. Pops a bit of a wheelie afterwards. Up into the air once again, bringing the truck around onto its roof. And time has definitely expired for Tropical Thunder. Pretty good run, I must say, even though about half the shocks were gone. Anyway, once again, fairly good run. Best so far in my opinion, but we still have even more trucks to go in Part 1 and Part 2. Let's move on to the final truck of Part 1. And finally, we have your World Finals Freestyle Champion and Racing Champion here at Lightningscape. It is Enforcer. Up into the air over the bus stack. Popping it up on the rear wheels over the ramp. Can he get it back onto the wheels? Doesn't look like it as the truck rests on its side. However, as that was the first 30 seconds of the run, he will be allowed to roll back over and time will start once again. Back on his wheels he goes. Once again, time will start the moment the truck starts to move again. Off he goes, and with 30 seconds gone from the time, he will have only 2 minutes in the run now. Up into the air, getting off some nice air. Some big air off the tabletop, landing in the racing lane. Up one of the ramps and landing it down on top of the buses and crush cars. Hops a bit of a wheelie on top of those buses. Pulls it into a moonwalk. Slams against the wall. Truck still seems to be fine though. Up over the big ramp. Up and over into the air once again, landing it down. Getting a massive sky wheelie off one of those racing ramps. Or off the racing wall, I should say. Breaks one of the wheels, but let's see how that will impact the run here for Enforcer. Truck rolling around once again. Manages to get it on the sidewall tires. Can he save it? Yes, he does. Enforcer popping a slap wheelie right afterwards. And time is now up for Enforcer. Fairly good run by Enforcer. And that was the final truck for Part 1, so I will see you again in Part 2.